Hello, beautiful people. The following is a functional fascia yoga practice that will move through the ebb and flow of the breath, and with that, highlighting and cultivating a deep connection to our fascial core, our deep front line. So come to a comfortable seat. You may want to underlay yourself. You may want to have some blocks handy for the practice if you like using blocks. And then change the cross of your legs and enjoy a comfortable seat. Close your eyes if that suits. Otherwise, bring your gaze down towards the floor. Allow yourself to rest on the top of your sit bones, sensing the ground beneath you. And then notice the expansion and concentration of your rib cage, moving with your soft, natural wave of breath. Notice how not just the ribcage expands, but also the deeper, the finer you look at it, you sense into it, you notice how everything in your body expands and contracts, concentrates. And then take a moment to connect to your inner voice. Remember when you have been connected to your intuition, when you sensed this is my truth. Maybe there was a place in your body, a sensation, a temperature, a tingling, a sign that highlighted your deeper inner knowing. And that feeling take with you throughout your practice, always coming back to your truth, to your own expression of the pose, to your own rhythm of the breath in the moment. And then open your eyes, come onto all fours with the feet tucked, the knees under your pelvis, the hands under your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide and activate them. Curl the fingertips slightly in and have the hands met with distance apart. Collarbones roll out away from one another and your armpits hug towards each other. With a long spine, the toes tucked and spread, shift back. So there's a little lift in your abdominals to keep the spine long. And then come forward again. Do this again, shift back, shift all the way back with a long spine. Notice the beautiful opening of the feet, allowing for fantastic force transmission. If we bring mobility into our fascial system and responsiveness, send your hips back up, your weight back onto your hands, and untuck your toes. Begin to move your spine. You may want to close your eyes and move in any way you are feeling called to. Any wiggling, rolling, spiraling, shifting, bodily yawning, swaying. And at the beginning, this may feel a bit awkward for you, but the more often you allow yourself to do this, the more intuitive and natural it becomes. And then center yourself again into your tabletop position. Tuck the chin slightly in, crown of the head reaches away from you. Shift your pelvis back in this elongated spine position, and in this shifted back position we curl into a cat in the lower back. So your tailbone drops down towards the mat, your pubic bone lifts, and then your pubic bone lifts towards your sternum, your head drops down. Stay here for a moment. Active core, breathing into your back body. Sway your hips from left to right. Center again. Now shift in this cat position forward, so your shoulders move towards over your hands, and
push into your shin bones so your knees slightly lift off. Relax your neck, relax your shoulders, drop your knees again. And then lift your tailbone up again, your head, and shift back. So we do a dynamic cat-cow now. Shifting back in this cow pose. Curl into a cat in the shifted back position. Exhale. Shift forward again. Active cat. And then lift your tailbone, lift your heart forward, gliding your breastbone towards the front of the mat. Shift your pelvis back, folding deeper in the front of your hips. Tailbone down, pelvic floor abdominals activate into your shifted back cat pose. And then shift yourself back forward again. And center your pelvis, center your spine. Now lift in this position. We come into the very classical cow pose. Lift your tailbone up, activating the muscles of your lower back. Activate the muscles of your mid-back. You may want to bend your elbows again and glide your heart forward and down. So it's like an extension here of the spine. Bend your elbows and move your chest and chin down towards the floor. Tuck your toes. This is the 8-limb pose. And then unravel your legs. You may want to shift slightly forward with your pelvis onto the mat. Take your forearms in front of you. Tailbone long, elongating the lower back. Collarbones wide. Press the hands down. Inhale, pull yourself forward into a beautiful Sphinx pose. Take a breath in here. Opening the heart, softening, widening. Exhale, soften. Roll onto your right hip, massaging the side and the front of your hip bone. Opening the tissues, mobilizing and hydrating for improved movement, better mobility, accessibility of force traveling through. And it's the superficial front line, and then change side. For example, that wants to travel through this frontal hip bone. You also, when you roll onto your side, you're massaging the TFL, so the tensor fascia lata, and the upper portion of your IT band. And then roll your pelvis back down, grounding through the pubic bone. Have your legs wider than mat width distance apart, your arms into a V shape, your chest sinks down. And then reach your tailbone away from you without clenching your glutes too much. There will be a bit of contraction here. Rise with your heart forward and up. Your hands glide back. And stay here for a moment in this seal pose. Active legs, breathe. You can have the arms a little bit wider if you feel you need more space in the front of your chest. And lower down again. Take your hands next to your body. Engage your center, tuck the toes under, and move into a kneeling plank. Pushing yourself up and back into a downward facing dog. Spread your toes wide. Slowly pedaling your feet, your hands mat width distance apart, and the creases of your wrists parallel with the front of the mat. And now become still with your legs. Lift the head slightly up to create length in the back of the neck. Grounding through the fingertips, grounding through the outside edge of your hand, and suctioning your fingers in slightly. Now roll forward halfway into a half plank. So as if you're stuck midway, stay here, bend your knees, lift your tailbone up, and shift yourself back into a down dog. We do this again. So now reach your heels down, and we do this a few more times. With the heels still reaching down, even though they may not reach the floor, that's not important, but you have length in the lower back in your down dog. Now curl your tailbone down, pubic bone up, and your pelvis rolls forward halfway. Stay halfway. Then you bend your knees and you deepen the fold of the hip in the front again as your tailbone lifts, and you push yourself back into a long downward facing dog, reaching your heels down. Let's do this one more time. Roll forward, engaging your center halfway. Bend your knees. Now stay here. Bring your heels towards the right. The outside edge of your left foot grounds down to the mat. Lift the toes up, activating the foot. And then bring your left arm up and your hand behind your head. Push your right hand down to the floor. Push the head into the left hand. Engage, activate your right lateral line, this side of the body. Pushing yourself up towards the ceiling, and the head moves back, opening the left side body here. And then center again, take your hand down to the floor into your downward facing dog. Shake your head, roll your shoulders, roll halfway forward again. Bend your knees. Bring your heels towards the left outside edge of the right foot onto the floor. And then you bring your right hand behind your head and lift the elbow up and activate your left lateral line. So you're bending and create a rainbow in your upper body. Take an inhale here. And then center again. Come back into your downward facing dog. Roll halfway forward. Bring your heels towards the right. Roll your right armpit towards the center of the mat. So you activate the back arm line here, grounding through the hand, and then take your left hand behind your body. Now this time, bring your tailbone back behind you, so you're arching your back as we did as we came down into this 8-limb pose, and your heart moves forward here. Stay here, take an inhale, push yourself back a little bit more. Excellent. Now bring your bottom leg out to the side and lift your left body up towards the ceiling. And then soften again, take your right foot underneath you. And now with your left hand, bring it towards your left knee. Lift your knee up. Help your left foot to come forward. Wiggle out your wrists. Activate your legs. Push into your front foot into a warrior 1. So taking your right heel down, your pelvis turns out to the side slightly, and keep that pelvis in this position. Now, very slightly, you turn your upper body towards the front, but not all the way, just to the upper corner of your mat, the upper right corner. Sink deeper into the front leg, grounding through the feet. Take a moment here to allow your lower back to soften, the core to engage, and snuggle yourself into the mat so you find deep contact through the ground, and your body can respond to gravity with a natural uplift. Stay here, opening the inside of the back leg, the groin, and then turn back with your right heel up towards the ceiling. Take your arms up, lower the right knee down. Take your left hand down to the side, and your right arm reaches up. Take an inhale here. Hand behind your head, inhale, activating the deep front line in the front of the neck by pushing the head slightly back. And then come back up. Shift yourself back and take your right hand behind or on where your knee is, down towards the floor, and take your left arm alongside your ear. First behind your head, bringing your upper body into alignment, and then you can reach the arm across your head and slowly hand, elbow, shoulder girdle, reaching down over this imaginary Swiss ball. Coming back into your side bend here. Take your hand behind your head, and now active side body, come up into a kneeling lunge again. Drop both hands, inhale, and take your palms in front of your chest, activate the inner thighs as you sink into an Anjaneyasana here. Take an inhale. Exhale, push yourself back up. Take your right hand to the outside of your left knee and bring your left arm behind you. Allow the left hip to relax. Reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Your chin stays parallel towards the floor. Now push the right hand into the front knee as you spiral towards the right, and at the same time you reach your arm up. It's just a little push. Inhale, exhale, soften. Twice more. Inhale, exhale. Once more. Inhale and exhale. Lower the left hand down to the inside of the left knee and bring your right hand behind you, circling it back. Your legs stay where they are, and bring it all the way up towards the ceiling again. Chins parallel towards the floor. Push into the left hand into the left knee. Inhale once, reaching your arm up, spiraling and lifting the spine, and then exhale, bring the arm forward.
Step back into downward facing dog. Opening the deep front line in such a beautiful way, accessing deeper breath, deeper alignment, and if we're spiraling well in our spine, an extension in upright posture is more accessible. Roll halfway forward, cores engaged. Bring your heels towards the left. Drop the heels down, outside edge of the right foot. Lift the right toes up. And then come into your shifted back side plank. Beautiful for the shoulder, rather. Take your hand behind your head. And then bring your sit bones and tailbone back. And come into a little back bend into this position. Very active. Excellent. And then extend your bottom leg. And reach your top arm away. Beautiful side plank here. Take your hand behind your head again. Bring the bottom leg underneath you and then spiral forward. Take your right hand, travel with your right knee forward to the front of the mat. So you grab your right foot, step forward, feet hip width distance apart, rise into a lunge position first. Lower the back heel. Deep front line opening here. Pelvis is diagonal to the mat. Tailbone soften. Take your time to melt into the ground, to connect, to root down in a soft, intuitive way. So that looks different to all of us. Stay here, come into a deeper pose. If your pelvis allows, your spine still feels free and you breathe softly. And then spin the front heel up, drop the back knee down. Take your left arm up, come into a beautiful side bend here, untuck the toes. And center again. And then shift yourself back, a little bit of core activation here as you're in this balancing pose. Take your left hand down to the floor, right arm across your head, bring it behind your head first, reaching over, and then reach the arm long, and then hand, elbow, shoulder girdle spiral, hugging this beautiful big sphere in front of you. Come back up into your side bend, bring your arm up, activating the right lateral line, coming up into your Anjaneyasana. Arms over your head and then palms in front of your chest, active legs and Anjaneyasana active and soft in the lower back, soft in the throat. Moving back into a low kneeling lunge. Take your arms to the side and then bring your arms overhead, spiral towards the right. Take your left hand to the outside of your left knee, right hand behind you, and then lift the right arm up. Inhale, push the left hand into the right knee. Exhale, release. Inhale, push, reaching the right hand up. Exhale, release. Once more, inhale, push and spiral up, 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 up. And release. Unwind. Take your right hand to the inside of the right knee, left arm behind you, legs stay as they are, left arm up, push into the right, and then inhale, reaching up once, and then take your left arm down and forward, hands to the floor, if you like, on the fingertips, into your downward facing dog. Walk it out. Become still with your feet, spread the toes wide, deepen the fold of the front of the hip, push into your hands strongly, and then bounce your heels. Little refreshing, elasticizing movement, but also really vitalizing for your organs, pelvic diaphragm. And then come to stillness. Roll forward into a full plank. Finally, the wave can reach the shores, pulling the hands apart. Drop your knees, child's pose. And then roll up into a kneeling position. Bring your feet forward with the feet in front of you. Elbows wide, sit on top of your sit bones, spread the toes, and exhale, curl onto the backs of your sit bones and slowly make your way down towards the floor. Rolling all the way down. Take your feet towards your pelvis your palms facing up, and then they snow angel up towards the back of your head. Interlace the fingers behind your head. And then step your right foot slightly forward. Exhale, curl your pelvis up into a pelvic lift or bridge pose variation. And then lower halfway down and lift up again. Lower down and lift up. Lower and lift. Tailbone long. Keep going. Only rolling halfway down and back up. Halfway and back up. Couple more and back up. Once more and back up. Step your right foot back in. Step your left foot out. Roll halfway down and back in. So it's just a little step forward, not too much. And we're accessing here hamstrings, glutes, and adductors in a different way by changing the distance and also challenging then the opposite, more weight-bearing leg. Keep going. And then once more, lift, bring the foot up behind you. Pelvis lifts up, knees reaching away from you. Roll the pelvis down. Inhale, bring your elbows up. Exhale, curl yourself up. And then bring your right leg out, spiral towards the left, and reach your left arm out to the side. You're pushing your head behind into the hand that is behind you. And then take your right leg back up, center yourself, other side. Slowly glide the left leg out as you turn towards the right. Reach your right arm away from you, push your head into the hand, and then come back to center. And then other side, and come back to center. Good. Little activation of the deep front line as we change sides, and the arm that's reaching up and out increases the load off towards the deep front line and spiral line, including obviously the arm lines here. And then once more towards the right, come to center, stay here. Take your right leg out and back in. Left leg out and back in. Sliding the heel down the floor, and then dorsiflex as you come back. Sliding out, dorsiflex as you come back. Once more, sliding out, dorsiflex, and then sliding out, toes up, and come back up. Slowly rolling down. Take your knees into your chest. Roll the knees out wide. And then take your feet down, right foot on top of your left. Your right knee reaches away from you as much as possible, and you flex, you dorsiflex your right foot. So the toes move up towards the ceiling, the heel pushes away, and then take your left leg up. You can also hold if you like. Stay here, neck is long, breathe. Lower the left leg down. Take the toes of your right foot and extend the leg for a moment. The bone of the right leg and like really settles into the hip. Breathe here. You can also hold behind your leg and then maybe roll the ankle, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Bend the knee and bring it down. Other side, left foot onto the right knee, dorsiflex the foot, bring your heel, your knee towards you, hold for a moment, throat is soft, gaze is soft. Opening the deep lateral hip rotators, also hip extensors. As a group, they're quite strong in hip extension as the posterior adductors are. And then lower down and grab your left toe, extend the leg or the back of the left leg. Breathe here. Allow the weight of your femur, tibia, fibula, the bones of your foot to draw down towards the mat, pelvic floor and lower back relax, abdominals relaxed. And then lower down. Let your heart, the head, let your knees fall together like a card house, feet mat width distance apart. Stay here for a moment. If you like, you can also extend your legs, moving into your living integration pose here, Shavasana. Infusing your body with the benefits of the practice. Not having to do anything, just absorbing presence, changes, adaptations. And then deepen your and then begin to deepen your breath. Notice how your body expands. Notice how your body expands with each breath. How it thanks you for this practice. And then make any movements that come to you, that your body craves, any rolling, twisting, stretching, making your way up into a seated position. Place your hands in front of your heart. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. It's an honor to move through your fascial universe with you. Have a lovely rest of the day. Thank you.